When Barbara Hepworth moved to St Ives, the sea and surrounding countryside made a deep impression on her, something she referred to as the pagan landscape, evoked by the standing stones and megalithic tombs, a feature of this part of Cornwall. She felt these mysterious abstract forms had strong sculptural qualities and a powerful spiritual presence. The impression is of figures standing upright in a landscape. Towards the end of her life, she realised her impressions in Family of Man, 9 figures on a hill. A set of these figures found an eventual resting place on a hill in her native county, in the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. The work is a series of upright forms which acknowledge civilizations past and present. They are arranged in accordance with Hepworth's intention to suggest relationships between generations. At the bottom of the hill stands young girl. Walking up the hill, we encounter youth, bride and groom, parents and ancestors. At the top of the hill stands ultimate form, which embodies the aspiration, hopes and fears across the generations. Hepworth has described the first sculpture in this series, Young Girl, as having a sense of wonder and expectancy, a bland countenance. We see this in both sections, but especially in the top half of the work, which I think resembles a satellite dish, eager to absorb all the incoming data from the external world. But this figure already contains a vast amount of information, a distillation of the DNA, features and characteristics of all her family who have gone before her. In my first piece of music in this series, I'm trying to work with 2 ideas. First, the bland countenance, the idea of a tabula rasa. The idea that individuals are born without built-in mental content and that therefore all knowledge comes from experience or perception. Over the top of a neutral synthesizer accompaniment, slow improvised melodies develop as knowledge and perceptions are absorbed. Having completed this piece, I can now take motifs, that's short musical phrases and fragments, and rework and develop them across the generations of other figures in this collection, to get across the common threads or features they may share. Hepworth has said that her principal aim for her family of sculptures is that she wants people to identify themselves with them, throw light on their own stories. So in a sense, the sculptures meet you halfway. My approach to writing youth drew on the interaction or interface between the sculpture and my own memories and perception of youth. A dichotomy between the bold, brash, assertive, noisy adolescent, often masking an inner sensitivity and insecurity. So although the figure is tall, upright and shares what Hepworth describes as the same spikiness as the father, there are some clues to the world behind the mask. In this video, I focus on some of the extraordinary surface markings just below the eye on the uppermost block. These are deliberate tool marks. They don't signify anything in particular, but are very much part of the work. In my interpretation, I'm seeing these as significant events, indelibly scarred on the memory, which this young person will take through with them for the rest of their days. Good and bad memories which will shape and inform the way they respond and interact with the world.